I'm just wondering, would it benefit us to kind of keep him and then we'll be us 5? James, he's a floater. He's a little singled out floater. So right now we're like 5-4. If everybody believed in James, then we'd be 6-4. We get rid of one of them, then we'd be 6-3. What does your gut instinct tell you, April?
I mean, I feel very, very bad for James. And, I mean, the deal is if he stayed, like, he would have to swear and promise a lot of things, and his promises aren't good. The one person we didn't want in the house was James. We're never going to trust James fully again, but maybe if we can use him to get votes. He's just so untrustworthy, but, you know, unfortunately right now it's a numbers game, and number-wise we could use him.
James is at a point where we can grab him and use him to our advantage. James could be a bonus for us. So why not take him in and use him? What I want to say is, I just want to make sure that the decision that we all decide to make is just the real wise one.
Everyone gather around. It's time to choose the other players for the veto competition. Oh, boy.
The rest of the House was trying to win the power of veto to use it on one of the nominees, so James can be nominated.
Howard, Howie.
Come on, Howie. What's going on? Are we doing anything today?
We were a little concerned with what Jennifer was going to do, because even though the entire house comes together and says they want James evicted, there's always that slightest possibility that they're not telling you the truth.
Nominees, please join me up here. Only 6 will participate in the competition. Those 6 are the head of household, the 2 nominees, and 3 people of our choosing. As head of household, I will pick first, and I choose...
We were hoping that the other team wasn't going to pull a fast one on us and pick James and cause a lot of havoc.
April!
I picked April to compete with me in the power veto competition simply because, duh, she's my partner.
Who would you like to choose? I choose Howie. Yay, Howie!
I chose Howie, and ideally, I would want him to win the veto so he could veto me off the nomination block and be safe himself from nomination.
Janie, you choose second. Who do you choose?
Sorry, just got
Kaser!
I picked Kaser because I know that he would try and win it, and I know that he'd use it on me.
I was really relieved that James was not picked to play in the veto competition, because that means he's not going to have a chance to save himself from nomination.
Bitches, man. Won't even let me go out on my own. Have to get backdoored. That's just the lowest way in the world to take somebody out.
When we walked outside, what we saw was a giant round table with different levels and what looked like 2 giant chairs.
Okay, house guests, Big Brother has been watching us play coaster toss in the living room all summer, and now it's time to coast for the most to win the power of veto.
I'm thinking, okay, coasters. Right now, I am the coaster champion in this house. We needed a veto to get someone off the block to hopefully put James up.
There is a large table that has 5 rings, each representing a week someone was evicted from the Big Brother house. There's also 5 oversized coasters adorned with the faces of 5 evicted house guests. The object is to land an evicted house guest coaster on the week that they were evicted. If you get the right coaster on the right week, you'll win that amount of points.
We find out that we're supposed to toss these coasters onto this platform, which we've, ironically enough, we've been doing since we came here.
If no one scores any points, there will not be a winner to this veto.
Everyone already, by this point in the house, knows the deal that I made with Kaser in the HOH competition this week, and it was to backdoor James. So somebody needs to get the power veto to get someone off the block in order to put James up there to backdoor him.
You will throw from the green chair, and the leader will sit in the orange chair. Whoever gets the most points will win the power of veto.
I'm such a competitor and I love competition, and it's miserable when you don't have any control over your own destiny. It's a crappy realization that I'm dealing with.
All right, April, will you please step up and begin the coaster toss?
There was different layers to the circle. Each step of the week got smaller and smaller, the circle did. So it's going to be harder and harder and further away for you to throw the coaster.
There you go! There you go!
April stepped up to the plate. She tossed the first one, and right away, she got 1 point. 1 point, that's all we needed. If no one got a single point, then no one will win the veto, in which case James stays in the game and we lose one of our teammates.
I go for week 2 with Michaels, and I hit week 1 again. And then I go for week 3, which would be Eric. I hit Eric, so that would give me 4 points at that time. And then I did miss week 4 and week 5. So I got a total of 4 points for my game. I didn't really care how well I did as long as I had scored something, because it didn't really matter who got it.
Rachel, will you please come compete?
Out of the players today competing for the veto, I thought that Howie and I were the best coaster house. So I thought we definitely had an advantage.
Oh! Rachel got 1 point. Go for week 4. Let's go for week 5.
Nice shot, Ray Ray.
Rachel, 6 points. Yay. That puts you in the lead. Kaser, will you please come up to compete for the power of veto?
So I started to play, and I got the first one. I got the second one.
The practicing table.
For Sarah.
Oh, nice shot, Casey.
Kaser got 3 points. Rachel, you're still in the lead.
If I would have got my coaster on the 5-point level, I would have been in the lead.
Jen, will you come compete for the power of veto?
Let's go, Jenny!
All right.
That first one I got really confident, right away.
This is harder than it looks.
But it didn't help. Maybe I got too confident.
Jen got 1 stupid point, so Rachel is still ahead.
I'm probably the only one in the house that hasn't played the coasters game, just because I don't really find it looks really boring to me.
I was a little nervous. Janelle had 5 points.
Ooh, geez, that was a wild one.
Janelle gets 5 points.
She would have taken herself off if she had beaten me, and I would have expected her to. So I was kind of glad she didn't get it. Sorry, Janie.
I am the outstanding, outgoing coaster true champion inside the house, so...
Let's see if you are
see if
outside
I
the house.
still- Are you sure she's not coming back? Oh, Ashley, I miss you. You know, I got up there and I felt like I was back in the living room playing coasters.
Week 1, 1 point. Howie, you got a total of 4 points. Unfortunately, that's not enough to beat Rachel. So Rachel is the veto winner with 6 points. So Rachel, you win the power of veto. Yay!
I'm going off the block now. Thank God. I'm 100% sure I'm not being evicted.
Right now, I mean, the pieces are lined up for James to go out the door.
I can't go out like this. Anything can happen. Even Custer had a last stand.
I've had a good time, so we'll see. I mean, obviously, it's not over until I walk out the door.